Welcome back, friends, to another portion of the show. The tangled webs that we weave. Holy shit. Let me show you what I'm up against. Just get in a horrible bind. I'm in one right now, and a horrible bind it is. This guitar, now we fixed this back here, this crack back here. The glue joint on these guitars is right here at the binding, okay? That's where the glue joint is. Well, this thing's separated just below that. I can't see it without glasses, but it's separated just under the binding, a tiny bit there. It's not, the glue joint didn't separate like I originally thought it did. The back, this plastic is cracking across here. That's what gave away, not the glue joint. The glue joint's holding fine. I put a whole lot of thin viscosity CA glue into that crack. I figured I'd look inside after it's set up and see glue where it ran in there. You can barely see it, man. It went somewhere, but it didn't all come through as much as I put in there. Should have been a lot more came through. It didn't. There's a lip inside of there, like a purfling that goes around here, and it's just a square. It looks like a square piece of plastic, is what it looks like. And I'm thinking that's where all that glue went inside. Maybe it's tubular, and it went inside of it. I don't know. Anyway, this is glued, but I'm going to have to reinforce that some way because, you know, that's never going to do, man. That's never going to hold that. And what I'm up against here is I cut this funky little block out, okay? Now, if you can imagine this has got to go. The crack is not even in the center. The crack is not in the center here. It's like down here, you know, offset. It's not in the very center of the guitar. It's like down this way. So, I've got to get glue on this, alright? And then it's got to go back in there. This side of the block will be glued to the top of the guitar, and this rounded side will be glued to the back of the guitar where it's round. And I cut it to fit, so that's going to work, you know, to stabilize that. Actually, down here is where it's going to go. And I've got to get glue on this right here and right here. This area right here is for that little plastic, I'm calling it purfling. I don't know what it is. It's just a piece of square plastic. But, you know, I cut this notch out here to allow for that. So I can get it all the way against the back and the top. Now, I got to do that through this hole and this hole. I've done a whole bunch of shitload of dry runs already. And I've gotten where I can do it about every time, but it'll be a different story when I get glue on it. It always is. Taking pliers and holding this, because I can't reach back there far enough without the pliers. Hold it with pliers, reach back in here, and then stick my finger in this hole until I can feel the block. And then quickly let go of it with the pliers and shove it back in here where it needs to go. Okay? Through that little hole right there. It's got to go between the fan bracing too. It can't rest on top of any brace. It's got to go between the fan bracings, and exactly right in this area right here is the center of the crack. About right there is the middle of this crack, and that's where I want to try to get this at. Now I can't, you know, if I use CA glue and screw up. If I put CA glue on that and screw this up and drop this down in there, chances are it's going to set up before I can ever get it back out, because it's a bitch to get out of there, especially if it falls up onto the top end of the bracing. So I'm going to shut the camera off and think about this, and I'll bring you back and maybe show you a test run of this horrible, horrible thing I've got to do. Hold on. Okay, let me just show you a dry run on this. I'll probably screw it up. Alright, we got our block. Gotta get it oriented right. I gotta get glue on this flat surface and glue on this rounded surface. All from here, clear up around at least to right there on the top of the round surface. Then I've got to take the guitar and hold it like this. And I'm going to take the little block that I made, and hold it with pliers like so. We're going to have glue here and glue here, okay? I've got to get all this inside of the hole with my hand closed like that, and it just barely fits into the hole, just barely fits into the hole. And I got to come up here where I can see the block, and I got to feel the braces and move until I feel it fall into the braces, and then quickly shove it in there just like I did. Now, if I'm lucky, the block will be exactly in the right place, and it is. It's perfect, man. It's exactly where I want it to land. And that's going to work beautifully if I can do it with glue on it. That's going to be so freaking wild, man, getting that jewel in there like that. So let me shut the camera off and do a couple more practice runs, because I want to get as good at that as I can before I actually do it with glue. I might put thick CA glue on that instead of wood glue. I feel a little bit better about that than I would wood glue, I think, because of the plastic. You know, wood glue to that's just not good. I took a rag and reached back in there with a stick and wiped it all out. It's all clean, so whatever glue should stick as best it can, you know what I mean? Hold on. Well, for gits and shiggles, I'm going to do another dry run. I got this glove on because if I get the super glue on my hands, that's always very not very fun. So this is going to have glue on it, glue in here, and glue up around this curved area. Okay, then I got to reach back in here with this horrid device best I can. Come up here until I see the block, set it where I think it needs to go, and do that. Now it fell out. I had it, but it fell out. It's okay. That's what test runs are for. Right? It's got to go like so. Yeah. I've got glue on it. Very carefully go inside. Come up till I see it. Get between the bracing. I think I got it that time. Nope. See, that's what I mean when you do this with glue on it. You only got one shot, man. If you screw it up, then you are screwed big time. So you got to get it right the first time with the glue. Alright. Once more. That is so hard, man, to get in there. That was perfect. Something went wrong. Well, okay, I'm gonna shut the camera off and do a whole bunch more test runs until I get this shit down. I will let you watch one more. I'd like to at least get one on camera that's good. It's got to go like this. Alright. Inward and upward to the hole. And try to get between. That felt like a good one. Ah, man. I think we got it that time. Perfect. It's exactly where it needs to go. Alright. I'm still going to run through this a whole bunch more times. And when I feel like I can do it, I'll bring you back and we'll give it a shot. Alright, well, I've done about 100 test runs, man. Let's do one more. I've got to take this, hold it with the pliers, just like so. And I got to put glue here, and here, and here. And I got to take the guitar. I hope you can see this. You won't want to miss it. And try to get this in here without touching the back. And there I did. And I got to determine when that block is between that fan bracing. I think I nailed it. Yep. Exactly in the right place. Now if I can do that with glue on that damn thing, we'll be set. I usually don't drink when I'm doing a job like this, but I'll tell you what, I had to have a drink for this, man, before. I know I'm going to drop this thing. Well, okay, let's do it. That is thick, yes it is. Alright, it goes in there this way, just like so. Hold it straight, that's right, yeah. And I want glue here. If I can get any glue to come out of it. Thick CA glue. God, man, really laying it to that bottle, pressure wise. And there we go. It's got plenty of glue on it. Wish me luck. I'm going in. The glue's trying to run. I didn't think that thick glue would do that. Here we go. I think I got it. Oh, I think I got it. I do believe I got it. Right in the place we needed it to. Yes! We have success. That's perfect, man. It is perfect. Shove him in there good and tight. Yes, sir. Very gently lay it down on its face so that thing doesn't move. I always hate doing jobs like that, man. When you only have one shot. If you screw it up, you know, you're basically screwed. But it's in there. It's good. Check it one more time. It's a good thing this guitar has a hole in the back of it where those connection plugs were at one time. Otherwise, I don't know, I probably would have had to have been forced to take the back off, I guess. Like it or not, you know. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to show you this or not. I will get the camera and bring over here and try to shine a light down in this tiny hole. Let's do that. Let me show you that way, if you can see it. I can't show you much of this, but I think you can see the block back there. Yeah, there you just barely see it through that tiny hole. Now that block is glued flat against the top of the guitar, and I cut it so it would be round back here and fit, you know, against the back of it as well. So, you know, there's no way that crack can ever come apart again. These stupid lights. Well, there she is, folks. She's in there. And I need another drink, man. So, I don't know how long this video is. Probably not very long, but I wanted to do that before I did anything to the cracks on the top of the guitar, the front. You know, that stuff sets up pretty fast, that CA glue does, but I'm going to leave that alone. Just make this a video. We'll come back next time and tackle the cracks on the top. Like I say, you work on these kind of jobs, do these kind of jobs, you're going to get in a bind every once in a while. I see it on YouTube all the time. And I had to have a drink before I got into something like that because I knew I only had one shot at it, and if I screwed it up, you know, you just don't do that. Like I told my son one time, I said, there's things in life that you just don't do, man. You know, you go up on top of the house like we were up there the other day fixing the shingle, it blew off. I said, falling off at the top of the house, that's not an option. You just don't do that. There's a lot of things like that that you just do not do. And falling off the top of the house is one. Dropping that damn block down in there with CA glue all over it is another. So anyways, it's in. I hope you enjoyed it. Had a good laugh or two. And looking forward to seeing you again. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.